Hello and welcome to another MoTeC webinar. My name is Mike Shield and today I'll be conducting a quick start guide into creating linear bar graphs in Display Creator. The agenda will be to add a new vertical bar graph to this existing file. I'm going to do it over here to represent fuel level. So click, drag and release. That will bring up the configure ticks dialog box. By default there will be 11 ticks with an end value of 100 and 3 minor ticks. I'm going to reassign that to 0 because I don't wish to have minor ticks here. I'm happy with the 11 and 100 as the vehicle I'm doing this for has 100 litres. If it had 60 I may reassign this to 60, otherwise I can always work as a percentage. So I say OK to that. I'm just going to reassign this maybe to 56. Looks a bit, that's better. Okay, so I have my fuel gauge here. I want to go from E to F with a half in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to the Elements tab and expand the tree. Expanding the vertical bar graph tree shows us all the elements that go into making the vertical bar graph. All the tick marks are here and all of their tick labels are within their trees as well, and they're the first things I'm going to reassign. So the 0 here, I'm going to make that an E for empty. The 50 I'm going to make half, and the 100 I'm going to make F for full. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is select all of those and reassign the font to Sui Gen so that it matches the dial. So just click in here, I can scroll or I can just type it in, and I'm going to go with 18 point. Okay, now you can see here that the numbers are starting to actually hit the bar. That's because it's center aligned. I'm going to make it left aligned, which will give me a nice straight line here. Next thing I wish to do is to actually turn off the numbers that I'm not wanting to see. So I've just basically select all of those and set their opacity to 0. Okay, so I've got my fuel gauge empty to full, but I'm wanting to see these two lines in red, and some of these I'm wanting to disappear. So just going to collapse these lines back again, bring them back. Okay, so basically these first two I'm wanting to make the line color red, and then the next three and those four there, I'm going to make them fully transparent. Okay, now I'm starting to get a nice looking fuel gauge. I'm not happy really with this vertical shading, so I can click on the bar graph. I'm not unhappy with the colors, I'm just wanting to go with a vertical shade instead. Okay, the last thing that I'm wanting to do with this bar chart, because this bar will grow up and down, but it's probably pretty hard to see exactly how far or how much of the bar is full, so I'm just going to put a black box behind this box. So how do I know all the details about this box? There's nothing there. What this tells me here is the whole thing is 56 wide with a 150 height. Well, that 150 height is the height of that bar, and the width of the bar here is actually half of this 56. So the width of the bar to behind the bar is 28 and the height is 150. So let's just draw another box and we'll put those figures in. 28 tab 150. We're going to turn the corner radius to 0, turn off the border. We're going to fill it solid and black. Okay, so that's the shape and size of the bar. Now where is the bar sitting? If we select the dial, the whole thing, we could actually then select the bar alignment top. So now we're aligned tops. It's just positioning it to the left. Okay, so this bar chart starts at 25 and then it's a quarter of the width. So a quarter of this is 14, so we're 39 across. So if I click that, I can say 39. Now because that's in front, you can see if it was out. If I was out with my maths, you know, I could say it's at 35. Well, that's not quite right, and I could just simply step it until it looks right where it does now. Okay, so what's the bar going to look like as it grows? Well, let's just say there's your fuel level. That's what it's going to look like. Now if you want to undo, you can always do this or Control Z. Say you want to redo, you can just Control Shift Z. So Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control Z. Okay, so to make sure we see the bar, we need to send that rectangle to the back. And that concludes today's quick start guide on how to create linear bar graphs in Display Creator.